When choosing what prototyping method is best for you in the world of converting, it can be hard to choose between laser cutting and digital knife. Here at Strouse, we choose the best method based on each project's specific needs, so let's dive into what might work for your process. Laser cut prototyping uses lasers to create rapid part mock-ups for material and design development. It involves creating smaller sample runs, typically a handful to a few hundred parts, without the need of purchasing a die-cut tool. At Strouse, we use a CO2 laser, which allows for the creation of complex designs with tight tolerances, including tabs and multi-level parts. While this is the fastest prototyping method, it may produce crispy, burnt, or charred edges depending on the material, and the CO2 laser cannot cut foils. Digital knife prototyping uses an oscillating blade to cut programmed patterns and create varied designs. Like laser cutting, it does not require the purchase of hard tooling, making it ideal for testing out designs, and it is used to produce the same amount of parts. This method generally results in cleaner cuts compared to the laser and can handle foil materials. However, it might be very difficult to make registered cuts or cut pressure-sensitive material, and it's limited to materials under an inch thick. It is important to note that it's a slower and more labor-intensive process that also may have edge conditions where the cuts are roughed or coined, especially when cutting foils, when you compare this to rotary or flatbed die cutting. Digital knife and laser cutting are good tools when it comes to sample production, but they do differ in multiple aspects, starting with the quality of edges. Laser cut edges can be poor quality with charring and debris, or may melt and fuse to the liner. Digital knife cuts are free of char, but depending on the material, they may have rough edges when compared to production tooling. Now looking at material thickness, laser cutting can handle thicker materials but may require multiple passes, which is not time efficient. On the other hand, digital knife cutting is best for materials under an inch thick, as thicker materials can wear down the blade. Now let's look at the ability to cut foil. CO2 lasers cannot cut foil due to the reflective properties of the metal, but digital knives are able to cut foil. Now let's look at the size and scale of design. At Strouse, the primary sampling laser can handle designs up to 2 by 3 feet. The digital knife can handle larger designs up to 5 by 5 feet. Lastly, looking at prototyping cost. Cost is highly dependent upon the complexity of the design and materials the part consists of. Typically, laser cutting is the most cost-effective method to produce prototyping samples, but your converter will need to weigh all of these variables and more before selecting one. Building the right prototyping process involves considering your project's specific needs, progress, and budget. You can start by understanding your project requirements, consulting with experts, and evaluating the costs. By working with a trusted converter, you can be sure you are in the right hands when it comes to getting an accurate and cost-effective prototype. If you have any more questions, feel free to visit our Learning Center to learn more about prototyping or reach out to us directly. Thanks for watching.